it feels as though COVID has brought me to another threshold. As I've looked back on my life, life has brought me to quite a number of thresholds. And as I've stepped through them, across them, it's either been into a period of growth and transformation, or it has been the return into my addictive behaviors, which I used to deal with difficult feelings and situations. So, for example, when my dear friend Martin committed suicide, I stepped into probably the darkest period of my life. Drink, sex, abusive relationship. Actually, it wasn't good. 3 years later, my dad died, and I stepped into a much healthier place with family and friends as we said goodbye to him at the end of his life. 12 years ago, my life fell apart in an awful way, and I did wonder whether I could face going on. I never quite got to the point of considering suicide, but I did question whether I could face life. But in that chaos, that shambles, I found my way to my first meeting of a 12-step program of recovery. Actually, a counselor had said I might find some people I would identify with at the meeting. He'd said that 12 years before. It took me 12 years to get to that meeting. And what I found when I stepped into 12-step recovery was that there was a program of work, and I started work in which I looked at myself and my life in a way that I hadn't done before. And it proved hard work, but amazing in terms of not simply being freed from the addiction of drink, but all sorts of other things came along with it. So that when there were difficult times in recovery, I'd got people I could turn to. I'd got men who I could be open and honest with about everything in my life. You know, not just the surface things, but the deep things and sex and all of that sort of stuff. And found a way through. 3 years into recovery, someone in the fellowship told me about men's work and male journey, and he'd done the men's Rites of Passage in Scotland the year before. I checked it out, and I went and did my own men's Rites of Passage in 2014. And that was another amazing experience, which added further to the work that I'd started when I got into 12-step recovery. And I've continued to be connected with Male Journey. COVID feels like it's been another threshold. And I think that may be something that quite a lot of people have been experiencing. For me, it seems now it's an appropriate time to be stepping back from certain things, certain commitments that I've had, opening myself up to new opportunities to try and ensure that in what life I have, I live each day to the full. So I would just say to any men who are feeling that maybe COVID has shifted things, maybe questions have started to arise about your life, your relationships, where you're heading. Male Journey has a spiritual element, thread that runs right through it, but you might want to consider having a look at the website and consider whether 5 days with other men doing this serious work for ourselves with others in a safe, sacred space might be for you. And you can find all the details on our website. And if you want to hear anything more, there are men who will be happy to talk to you on the phone. Go well.